Hello, today is Friday, September 29th, I think. Yeah, third, second, first. So today is September 30th, and we have a 3-day holiday coming up starting tomorrow. So everybody in Korea is happy and they will hit the road despite the corona pandemic and enjoy the fall foliage and fruits on the trees in the wild. But there's a wild news coming from Zimbabwe. Let's take a look into this article and practice English. I'm trying to read this article to learn English. Here we go. The Guardian, the famous the magazine. I've never read one, but this is a famous one. The Guardian news website of the year, very good. Global development. Zimbabwean author Tsitsi Dangarembga found guilty of inciting violence. Novelist given suspended sentence after staging peaceful protest calling for reform. Okay, guilty of inciting violence, she was calling for political reform. Okay. Global development is supported by Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. Ooh, interesting. Hello, Bill. You want to invest in me? Yeah, I would like to get rich quick, but I would also like to contribute to your foundation by working together with you. About this content, the Yasha Chingono in Harare, okay, famous city in Zimbabwe, Harare. This is VOA News from Harare, Zimbabwe, for example. But Guardian News from Harare in Zimbabwe. Thursday, 29th September 2022, 17:51, so almost 6 o'clock Eastern Daytime. Renowned Zimbabwean author Tsitsi Dangarembga has been given a suspended prison sentence after being found guilty of inciting violence by staging a peaceful protest calling for political reform. Okay, suspended prison sentence. That's another good term, man. Yeah, suspendered prison sentence. The prison sentence was given, but was not served on some condition, on bail. Suspended prison sentence. Dangarembga and co-accused Julie Barnes were convicted of participating in a public gathering with intent to incite public violence at Harare Magistrates Court on Thursday. Co-accused, that's another new term, co-accused. Julie Barnes were convicted of participating in a public gathering with intent to incite public violence at Harare Magistrates Court on Thursday. The pair were also each fined 70,000 Zimbabwe dollars. That's about 200 pounds. That's about 30만 원 in Korean won. That's about 200 US dollars too. A 6-month jail term was suspended for the next 5 years on condition, here we go, on condition that the two do not commit a similar offense. On condition, man, on condition. Dangarembga was arrested in July 2020 for holding a placard inscribed, "We want better. Reform our institutions," during a peaceful protest. Human rights organizations, including Amnesty and the Writers Association PEN International, had called for the charges to be dropped. PEN swiftly condemned the conviction on Thursday and called on the Zimbabwe authorities to uphold their human rights obligations and desist from prosecuting dissenting voices. Dissenting voices. That's another good term. Dissenting voices. Dissenting voices. Persecuting dissenting voices. Persecuting dissenting voices. Okay, human rights obligations. This is why North Korea and China they try to be secluded, especially North Korea, Kim Jong-un. If they open their borders, Japan and other countries will try to impose the human rights issues, human rights obligations on North Korea, and they would have very difficult time, or they would be pissed off, and so that's why they just closed their borders. The magistrate Barbara Mateko said the state had proved beyond doubt that the two had staged a demonstration with the intent to incite violence. The magistrate, okay. Who is magistrate? Like a attorney general, okay? Let's go and find out who is magistrate. 검찰총장, yeah. The civil officer or lay judge who administers the law, especially one who conducts a court that deals with minor offenses and holds preliminary hearings for more serious ones. Magistrate, 간편법원. Who is that? 교통범칙금 magistrate. The judge, like a preliminary court judge. Okay, it's the judge you come across first. Magistrate.
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 Magistrate. Got it. So the magistrate said that incite violence beyond doubt, prize-winning Dangarembga protested against the court's decision and said she will appeal at the High Court. We are in a situation where media freedom is not encouraged, and those like myself and Julie, my co-accused, who wish to promote freedom of the media, are found to have committed a crime. Dangarembga, who was shortlisted for Booker Prize in 2022, told journalists outside court, Booker Prize, shortlisted, who was shortlisted. Let's find out what this one is really. Shortlist. A shortlist is a list of candidates for a job, prize, award, political position, etc. that has been reduced from a longer list of candidates. The length of short lists varies according to the context. A candidate on a short list may or may not receive the award or position. So from the long list, they are on the short list. They were filtered through they were filtered in. So they are more suitable for the price for the job shortlisted. This means the space for freedom of expression is shrinking and is increasingly criminalized. However, we do intend to appeal the conviction. She said freedom of expression was under siege in Zimbabwe. Our role as citizens is being changed into a role that is not an active citizen but a subject. And we are not a monarchy as far as I know. Yeah, I agree. I've never heard the Zimbabwean king. The 63-year-old's first novel, Nervous Conditions, won the African section of the Commonwealth Writers' Prize in 1989. Her book, This Mournable Body, was nominated for a Booker Prize in 2020. Booker Prize. A Booker Prize. Nominated, shortlisted. First, you are nominated, then you put on the long list, then you are filtered in, you are chosen in, you are reviewed, your case is reviewed, and you put on the short list, nominated. Dangarembga was arrested amid a sweeping crackdown by security agencies on human rights campaigners that included the arrest of investigative journalist Hopewell Chiono. On Twitter, Chiono described the ruling against Dangarembga as one of the biggest blunders ever made by President Emerson Mnangagwa's repressive regime. They might not care regime, but they will regret it. It has put a magnificent global spotlight back on Zimbabwe, something Zimbabwe needed. A magnificent global spotlight back on Zimbabwe. It has put a magnificent global spotlight back on Zimbabwe, something Zimbabwe needed. Dangarembga has been a fierce critic of President Emerson Mnangagwa's government, which has been accused of corruption and human rights violation. Okay? Yep. We have a smaller favor to ask. Really? Oh, sorry. As Zimbabwe faces a decisive presidential poll next year, election, we say election, but in the UK side, on the Commonwealth, they say poll. As Zimbabwe faces a decisive presidential poll next year, there are growing fears that freedom of expression could be curtailed. So there are a lot of good words and expressions on this article. It has put the magnificent global spotlight on Zimbabwe. The regime curtailed, shortlisted, beyond doubt, deplorable sentence, suspended sentence, shortlisted for a Booker Prize, PEN, P-E-N, a Writers Association, Dangarembga, Zimbabwe, Dangarembga, okay? A placard, my co-accused, fierce critic, suspension, beyond doubt, repressive regime. Zimbabwe is a repressive regime. The presidential poll for the next year curtailed. Human Rights Association, North Korea. We have a small favor to ask. Really, The Guardian has no shareholders, really, and no billionaire owner. Are you sure? Just the determination and passion to deliver high-impact global reporting free from commercial or political influence. Reporting like this is vital for democracy, for fairness, and to demand better from the powerful. We provide all this for free, thanks for everyone to read. We do this because we believe in information equality. Greater numbers of people can keep track of the events shaping our world, understand their impact on people and communities, and become inspired to take meaningful action. Millions can benefit from open access to quality, truthful news, regardless of their ability to pay for it. Every contribution, however, big or small, powers our journalism and sustains our future. So support the Guardian from as little as $1. It only takes a minute. If you can, please consider supporting us with a regular amount each month. Thank you. Okay, I thank you. Your article was quite a good one. So inscribed, placard inscribed, we want better Zimbabwe Thursday, Harare. Harare, Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe, Harare. That's good word, Harare. Good pronunciation, Harare. Renowned. Zimbabwean author, renowned. Zimbabwean author Tsitsi Dangarembga. Everybody, have a good Friday and take care. See you tomorrow.